The world knows the legend of the Yeti, a giant ape-like creature haunting the Himalayas. For decades, the debate has been simple: myth or reality. But that debate ignores a much more startling truth. What if one of these wild legends wasn't just a story? What if, in the 19th century, a wild woman, described as covered in hair and exhibiting primitive traits, was indeed captured in the remote Caucasus Mountains, lived among villagers, and even bore children whose very existence fueled a controversial scientific hypothesis that relict hominids might still walk among us? That case is real, and it forces us to ask a new, more urgent question. If such persistent reports of a relict human type emerged, how many other wild men phenomena remain hidden, challenging our classifications and understanding of nature? Today, we deconstruct the legends, from the government files on China's towering YEREN to the evolutionary puzzle of the ALMAS, to the hunt for an unknown primate in Sumatra's jungles. This is the story of Asia's forgotten mysteries. Our investigation begins long before the world had ever heard the term Yeti in the ancient heart of China. For over 2,000 years, court historians, poets, and scholars wrote of a creature that haunted the deepest mountain forests, the YEREN, the wild man. Behold, the YEREN, China's own wild man. Towering, powerfully built, and cloaked in reddish-brown hair, this enigmatic biped moved with an unsettling grace that was almost human, yet undeniably primal. Unlike the phantom white-furred Yeti of popular lore, the YEREN emerged from the emerald depths of ancient forests, not icy peaks, presenting a distinctly different, perhaps even older, enigma. Ancient Chinese texts dating back over 2,000 years, like the venerable Eria, recorded unsettling encounters with these wild men. But it was amidst China's relentless march towards industrialization in the 1970s that these scattered accounts ignited a national fascination, compelling the state itself to launch an unprecedented investigation. This was no mere whispered legend. The sheer, overwhelming volume and chilling consistency of YEREN reports became impossible to ignore, forcing the esteemed Chinese Academy of Sciences to launch one of the most monumental, state-backed expeditions into an alleged cryptid in recorded history. For decades, China's brightest scientific minds grappled with a profound question. Was the YEREN a flesh and blood creature, a persistent misidentification, or a powerful, deeply ingrained cultural phenomenon? The evidence they unearthed would forever challenge deeply held perceptions of the wild and the very nature of scientific truth. The vast Chinese investigation meticulously gathered an astonishing array of physical evidence: colossal footprint casts, intriguing hair samples, and compelling eyewitness accounts. A collective breath was held, as many hoped these tantalizing clues would finally provide the definitive, irrefutable proof of the YEREN's elusive existence. Gigantic footprints, some stretching over 16 inches, were common finds, fueling the fervent belief. Yet the brilliant anthropologist Professor Zhou Guoxing, who tirelessly led countless expeditions, revealed a startling truth. Many of these monstrous tracks were cunning optical illusions, the deceptive overlap of bear paws expertly mimicking a single elongated hominoid stride. The discovery of enigmatic hair samples, coarse and reddish-brown, some shockingly vivid red, initially ignited a firestorm of excitement. But the relentless gaze of rigorous scientific analysis, conducted by esteemed institutions worldwide, unveiled a surprising, almost unbelievable revelation. Many hairs belong to common forest animals like serows, gorals, or wild boars. But the most perplexing, those dazzling red strands, were unequivocally confirmed to be dyed human hair. Professor Zhou's groundbreaking investigations methodically dismantled countless alleged YEREN encounters. He unmasked entire chilling narratives of wildman sightings, even claims of bloody confrontations, as elaborate misidentifications of bears or macaques, or, shockingly, as deliberate fabrications concocted to instill fear or seek notoriety. For instance, one witness, Yin Hongfa, confessed to fabricating an entire wildman attack just to scare children away from wandering at night. Another, Jia Jishan, spun a dramatic abduction tale that his own wife later revealed was a lie about his 10-day absence from home. The accumulated evidence painted a compelling, albeit disappointing, picture. The YEREN phenomena largely stemmed from honest misinterpretations of known wildlife or sophisticated, calculated hoaxes. Even as decades of rigorous scientific inquiry culminated in a skeptical verdict, the spectral legend of the YEREN inexplicably endures within the hearts of local communities. This reveals a profound truth about folklore. Even when empirical evidence points in a starkly different direction, the deep, ancient roots of belief and cultural narrative possess an astonishing power to shape perception, to keep a mystery alive. For many local communities, the YEREN is not merely a biological question, but a part of their cultural landscape, a figure that embodies the wild, untamed aspects of the forest and the mysteries beyond human settlements. The noted decline in sightings in recent years is culturally interpreted by some as the creature adapting or retreating further into untouched wilderness, rather than necessarily vanishing into extinction. The saga of the YEREN, whether a tangible beast or a cultural phantom, serves as a potent, haunting reminder of China's breathtaking modernization, and the profound, often irreversible changes it has wrought upon its vast, ancient landscapes. It echoes the inexorable collision between primeval wilderness and unyielding human ambition. The ultimate verdict from the formidable Chinese Academy of Sciences, delivered after decades of exhaustive research, was a near-total rejection of the YEREN's biological reality, systematically categorizing most purported sightings as understandable misidentifications. Yet, the indomitable belief in the YEREN compels us to confront a deeper truth: how science and folklore intertwine in ways we barely comprehend, sometimes unveiling a profound, hidden reality, and sometimes revealing the astonishing, almost boundless human capacity for imagination, for weaving compelling narratives, and for perpetually seeing the unknown veiled within the familiar. The YEREN then remains an enduring, captivating mystery, not necessarily as a creature of flesh and blood, but as a potent testament to the untamed power of the human spirit, forever seeking enigma in the wild. Our odyssey now sweeps westward, to the stark, rugged borderlands where Europe and Asia collide, across the windswept steppes and formidable mountain ranges of Mongolia and Central Asia. Here, nomadic herders speak of the ALMAS with a profound reverence, as an ancient truth etched into their very souls. These are no mere campfire tales of beasts. The ALMAS are described as living echoes of a forgotten past, spectral ancestors, stubborn survivors from the dawn of humanity. Unlike fleeting cryptids, the ALMAS present an astonishing, profoundly controversial hypothesis: not simply an unknown animal, but a startlingly plausible, relict hominid, a parallel branch of human evolution that survived the eons. Often standing between 5 and 7 feet tall, cloaked in dark, shaggy hair, their primitive, unmistakably humanoid features evoke an unsettling glimpse into our ancient lineage. The ALMAS are depicted living with primal simplicity, perhaps mirroring the very existence of our early human ancestors, tens of thousands of years ago. Accounts whisper of them using natural objects as crude tools, crafting rudimentary shelters like nests or sheltering in caves, and exhibiting an uncanny intelligence that powerfully hints at sophisticated problem-solving abilities. But perhaps the most extraordinary ALMAS tale, one that has electrified researchers for decades, is the harrowing story of Zana. Captured in the mid-19th century in the remote Caucasus, Zana was described as a powerful, dark-skinned wild woman of astonishing strength, whose very presence defied conventional understanding. Accounts detail her initial ferocity. She was captured by hunters using time-honored techniques, struggled furiously when tied up, and was beaten with sticks and gagged. For 3 years, she lived in a sturdy padlock, behaving like a wild animal, digging a hole to sleep in and accepting food only when lowered to her. Over time, she became less wild, able to perform simple tasks like grinding grain and fetching water, and astonishingly, even learned to carry loads, once transporting a 100-pound sack of flour up a steep hill without difficulty. Her unique gait was characterized by a powerful, almost loping stride, and she would run faster than a horse, crossing ravines and streams with ease. Zana's physical traits were striking. Her skin was black, covered in reddish-black hair that grew thick even on her face, and her hands and feet were large and powerful. She had no defined calves, and her toes splayed out, giving her a distinctive ape-like foot structure. Astonishingly, Zana bore children with human men, 4 in total, 2 sons, Kivit and Gamasa, and 2 daughters, who tragically died young. Her children, particularly Kivit, exhibited some unusual features, including dark skin, powerful jaws, and an uncanny ability to mimic animal cries, though they were otherwise indistinguishable from other villagers. Gamasa's bones, examined decades later, showed slight Neanderthal-like tendencies. This incredible saga fueled a controversial scientific hypothesis that relict hominids, a parallel branch of humanity, might still walk among us. For scientists like Porshnev, the existence of such intelligent and feeling beings capable of emotions and suffering meant we have a duty to protect them, as they are rare and menaced with extinction, emphasizing that the loftiest demands of science can never justify murder or torture. The Soviet Union, with its formidable scientific apparatus, adopted an astonishingly distinct approach to the ALMAS phenomenon. Far from outright dismissal, the powerful Academy of Sciences in 1958 established an official, state-backed commission to relentlessly pursue the snowman problem, deploying an elite cadre of anthropologists and researchers to investigate these unnervingly persistent claims. Dr. Marie-Jeanne Kaufmann, a brilliant French surgeon and scientist whose unwavering dedication spanned decades, meticulously documented over 500 ALMAS encounters across the vast, forbidding region. Her exhaustive research unearthed startlingly consistent reports of their tool use, primitive stone implements echoing Paleolithic human artifacts discovered near sighting locations, or a gnawed club bearing the distinct marks of ALMAS interaction. The behavioral evidence was equally mesmerizing. Witnesses vividly described ALMAS family groups exhibiting surprisingly complex social behaviors, including apparent social learning, and some chilling accounts even reported them maintaining campfires abandoned by shepherds. This suggested an intelligence far beyond mere animal mimicry, a tantalizing hint of truly advanced cognitive abilities, a silent challenge to our very definition of sentience. Soviet anthropologist Boris Porshnev ignited a firestorm of controversy with his audacious theory. The ALMAS were surviving Neanderthals, or another ancient hominid species astonishingly adapted to Central Asia's brutal, unforgiving environment. While the scientific establishment largely recoiled from this radical hypothesis, the chilling consistency of reports across immense geographical areas remained a stubbornly intriguing enigma. The initial Soviet expedition to the Pamir, hastily launched in a flush of enthusiasm, ended in disarray, a resounding failure. This debacle, coupled with ferocious opposition from within the academic community, which he called a scientific tragedy, led to the agonizingly slow dissolution of the official commission by 1960. Key reports, like Koklov's detailed observations from 1914, were even buried for decades under the dismissive label "Notes Without Scientific Relevance," reflecting how uncomfortable truths can be suppressed when they challenge established paradigms. For Porshnev, this was a struggle for the youthfulness of science, where science, which is entirely devoted to the search for truth, could clash with diplomacy, often based on white lies. Yet, against all odds, solitary dedicated individuals like Dr. Kaufmann pressed on, often without any state funding, their unwavering personal commitment a beacon in the lonely quest for truth. Porshnev himself held a profound ethical stance, arguing we have no moral right to dispose of the life of other creatures beyond the necessity to feed ourselves, especially intelligent and feeling beings, capable of emotions and suffering. He insisted we have a duty to protect them, as they are rare and menaced with extinction. The enigmatic ALMAS phenomenon continues to pierce the veil of conventional wisdom, raising profound, unsettling questions about the very tapestry of human evolution. If these creatures exist as so consistently described, their presence would shatter the prevailing linear progression we've so comfortably assumed, forcing us to confront the astonishing possibility that multiple long-lost branches of the human family tree might have secretly survived far longer than any conventional theory dares to suggest. In the vast, untamed wilderness of Central Asia, where ancient mountains guard untold secrets, the persistence of ALMAS reports compels us to acknowledge the enduring potential for undiscovered species. The meticulous, decades-long documentation by researchers like Kaufmann serves not as definitive proof, but as an insistent, profound invitation to relentlessly explore the unknown. The ALMAS reminds us that even our most fundamental understanding of human evolution may be incomplete, and that our planet still cradles breathtaking secrets about the very nature of consciousness and intelligence. It urges us to embrace the thrilling possibility that not every mystery can be neatly categorized, and sometimes the most revolutionary truths lie hidden, patiently waiting within the questions themselves. For our final, astonishing piece of evidence, we journey from the stark, windswept landscapes of the Caucasus, plunging deep into the sweltering, primeval rainforests of Indonesia, to the emerald heart of Sumatra. Here, amidst unparalleled biodiversity and suffocating humidity, a creature of legend, the orang pendek, has captivated local communities and utterly perplexed Western science for centuries. To the indigenous Suku Anak Dalam people, the orang pendek is no fleeting myth, no phantom. They speak of it with the conviction of absolute truth, not as a monstrous predator, but as a shy, incredibly powerful guardian woven into the very fabric of their ancient forest. Indigenous lore paints a chillingly consistent portrait, a bipedal primate, roughly 3 to 5 feet tall, possessing an astonishingly strong athletic build, and cloaked in reddish-brown to black hair that seems to absorb the jungle shadows. Yet the testimony of a diverse array of witnesses, from seasoned Dutch colonial officials to intrepid Western explorers spanning over a century, is chillingly consistent. This creature is distinctly not an orangutan, whose massive orange-furred forms are confined to northern Sumatra, nor a stealthy sun bear or agile gibbon. They universally emphasize its habitual, unnervingly upright posture, a trait virtually no other Sumatran mammal regularly exhibits besides humanity itself. This astonishing consistency in descriptions, echoed across generations of diverse observers and spanning countless decades, is precisely what renders the orang pendek so profoundly compelling. It has fueled the audacious hypothesis that this enduring legend might be tragically, gloriously grounded in a profound biological reality. Perhaps an elusive, undiscovered primate species, or even a relict hominin, a living fossil, miraculously preserved in one of Earth's most breathtakingly biodiverse and untouched ecosystems. The tantalizing mystery of the orang pendek finally commanded serious scientific attention in the late 20th century. Enter the formidable British writer and relentless researcher Debbie Martyr, accompanied by the acclaimed wildlife photographer Jeremy Holden. For over 15 years, they embarked on an intensive, arduous quest within Sumatra's vast Kerinci Seblat National Park, meticulously collecting hundreds of compelling witness testimonies. Among the most electrifying discoveries were the numerous, extraordinarily detailed footprint casts, imprints that defied conventional classification. Experts like Dr. David Chivers noted their unique blend, an ape-like foot structure combined with a human-like arch, features utterly unlike any known primate in the region. These silent, stony witnesses hinted at a bipedal enigma. Despite persistent efforts, no definitive photograph of a living orang pendek has ever been taken, and camera traps have yielded only ambiguous images. This profound elusiveness, while frustrating, only deepened the mystery. Then came the tantalizing, almost legendary hair samples. An initial microscopic analysis by the renowned forensic specialist Dr. Hans Brunner in 2002 suggested an alleged orang pendek hair was a profound anomaly, matching no known animal. Yet, the definitive, most rigorous scientific DNA test, a pivotal moment conducted by the formidable team led by Professor Brian Sykes in 2012 to 2013, delivered a stunningly different verdict. The solitary orang pendek hair under scrutiny was unequivocally identified as originating from a Malayan tapir. This undeniably painful blow to the cryptozoological case for that specific sample served as a stark, urgent reminder of the relentless demand for robust, utterly contamination-free evidence in the pursuit of the unknown.
The orang pendek phenomenon remains a compelling, haunting piece of Sumatra's colossal biodiversity puzzle. The electrifying idea that a new species of bipedal primate, or even a relict hominin, a living ghost echoing the hobbit, Homo floresiensis, discovered on distant Flores Island, could still persist, continues to captivate and ignite the imaginations of researchers worldwide. Yet, the vast geographic and temporal chasm separating Sumatra from Flores tempers this thrilling possibility with a crucial scientific caution. While some eminent Indonesian scientists remain fiercely skeptical, at times dismissing orang pendek hunts as a laughable attempt to prove the existence of a myth, the very pursuit of such elusive, unknown primates is increasingly intertwined with broader, vital biodiversity and conservation efforts across the fragile rainforests. The orang pendek's legend, whether biological or cultural, inexplicably acts as a mysterious guardian, powerfully inspiring global efforts to protect one of Earth's most breathtakingly biodiverse and perilously fragile ecosystems from irreversible destruction. It stands as a haunting reminder that our planet still cradles unimaginable wonders, perpetually challenging us to explore the unknown with both boundless imagination and unwavering scientific rigor. Perhaps the next great, revolutionary biological discovery is silently walking through Sumatra's emerald forests, patiently waiting for the convergence of cutting-edge science and timeless indigenous wisdom. The Orang Pendek story beautifully illustrates how the quest for knowledge can serve truly multifaceted purposes. It reminds us that our planet continues to hold wonders, challenging us to explore the unknown with both imagination and scientific rigor.
The YEREN, the ALMAS, and the Orang Pendek, three captivating, profoundly unsettling mysteries that compel us to radically rethink the very boundaries of our known world, the intricate tapestry of our evolutionary history, and our boundless capacity for wonder. Each phenomenon, whether a phantom of biological reality or a potent echo of cultural perception, offers astonishing, revolutionary insights. In meticulously unraveling these enduring legends, we find ourselves grappling with the profound complexities of our relationship with the wild, the subtle, often overlooked pathways of human evolution, and the relentless, innate human drive for discovery. They stand as powerful silent sentinels, reminding us that the natural world, even in our technologically triumphant age, still cradles ancient, breathtaking secrets that continue to utterly fascinate and defiantly elude us. Perhaps the ultimate question isn't merely whether these extraordinary creatures physically exist, but rather what their profound, haunting stories truly reveal about the deepest chambers of our own human spirit. They serve as potent cultural mirrors, unflinchingly reflecting our most primal fears, our ever-evolving understanding of scientific truth, and our insatiable, inherent curiosity about the vast, shimmering expanse of the unknown. To neglect these enduring, magnificent mysteries is to risk forgetting something utterly essential about ourselves: our innate, boundless capacity for wonder, our humbling awe before the truly unknown, and our solemn responsibility to fiercely protect the wild, sacred spaces where such profound enigmas can still silently unfold. So, we ask you, what do you truly believe? Are we, in our perceived dominance, utterly alone in our intelligence? Or does the natural world still cradle astonishing, revolutionary secrets that could irrevocably transform everything we think we know about life on Earth? Share your theories, your deepest convictions in the comments below, because the profound, elusive truth is always woven from countless, intricate, and often contradictory threads.
Which of these three wild men do you find most compelling? Share your theory in the comments below, and if you believe there are more stories hidden in history, subscribe for more investigations into the legends that shaped our world.